take us through the financials.
Good afternoon all. Welcome. We'll just go through the overview, talking to the environment. Some economic growth will be achieved this year. This is according to government authorities. In fact, the Minister of Finance did indicate that GDP growth was going to come out at 6.3 from the original estimate of 4.5. So we think part of that growth is in our hands. The new government continues to be focused on resuscitating and growing the economy. That's a good thing. It gives us hope. The engagement with the international community to attract capital is at the center of their message. However, post the election, there were disturbances, and we think, in our assessment, those could impact the re-engagement efforts and slow down the re-engagement that we are looking for. Foreign currency has always been tight in this market. It was tighter, and it's an availability constrained business. International settlements slowed down during the period which impacted on supplies, as well as capex. We say capex because you might remember we open new shops, we do refurbishments. All that is capex, which requires foreign currency. Cash shortages have persisted, the outcome of which is that the volumes of electronic transactions continue to grow. So the electronic was an avenue for business to continue. Continue with the overview. The level of unemployment remained high, but there was significant consumption experienced. Income from agriculture, artisanal mining, RTGS balances, all pushed spending. We are back into inflation. A couple of years ago, it was deflation. Zimstats reported 5.39 as of September, which is up from 2.68 back in March. And our own average internal inflation came out at 12.2. Our average inflation is measured at the point of our procurement when we buy from our suppliers. That's the point at which we measure price increases. Well, while there was inflation, consumption levels increased, which is what I referred to earlier, and some businesses experienced real growth, and we think we will show in our numbers an element of real growth. Statutory Instrument 122, restricting imports, remained in force during the period, and therefore imports were limited, not just directly by us, even by our suppliers. South Africa remains the main source of imported goods. It's a big economy, they are close. We do import, of course, from Zambia and Botswana as well, but they are small in contribution. What we land in Rand, we convert to US pricing, and the strategy there is to manage price stability. You are aware the Rand is volatile. All supply continues to be hamstrung by outdated technology, lack in cost of capital, as well as the state and cost of utilities, among other things. Our own brands contribution remains slow. Why is that important? Own brands would assist with margin improvement, but the contribution remains slow because local industry utilization capacity is still very low. Continuing with the overview, for most of the period, product supply was relatively stable, and our stores were adequately stocked. However, we experienced some erratic supplies of some basic products towards the end of the period, namely, and this has tended to gold, because whenever there's we need crowd control. So that has continued. It has not quite abated. It improved 2 weeks ago, but it has gone back to that situation again of erratic supply. The sector review, our sector is very competitive, low barriers of entry. What have we seen? We have seen a resurgent SPA. They've opened new outlets, and I think they've got 13 corporate stores and 12 franchises, so something like 25. Competition from the Pick and Pay brand. This is a strong brand which entered our market, and they are converting the TMs into Pick and Pay. Choppies have slowed down their expansion. They remain a threat, but a bit muted now, because the latest news is that they are suspended trading on the Botswana Stock Exchange, Johannesburg Stock Exchange, which might lead to delisting. They've got issues, so they might not be a threat for too long. Expansion of wholesaler, retailers. These are guys who have transformed themselves from traditional wholesalers. N. Richards, Metro, Pitch, Fortwell. They are now virtually retailers competing in our space, but they will still do retailing on the side, but they are really into retail as well. Gains, cash and carry. This is now country coverage by this wholesale type of operator. The history is it was a conversion of national food depots, which are really countrywide. So it was like an overnight spread. Informal sector, vendors were true during this reporting period. The story is a bit different now, but when we were going through the 6 months, the vendor was at the door. We've got specialist traders who compete us as well and take away some of our businesses. That's food lovers, abattoirs, owned by butcheries like Koala, Bellevue, Montana, Texas. They eat into our space. They are a form of competition. Grain was continued. That's just a national footprint. We've got 63 stores in total. OK stores 49, Bon Marché 8, OK Mart 6. Our staff size, last year when we reported, we had 4,144. We are now sitting on 4,653. It was just not increasing staff, but it was increasing staff to man a new shop, to man expanded shops, to man improved facilities. So that increase has got economic justification. You will have seen this guy a couple of times before. We keep him because we want to grow this business. MoneyWave, that's our financial services unit, making a contribution through money transfers, mobile money, banking and insurance, prepaid electricity coupons. That's our bakeries, sitting at 46 full bakeries, 6 bake-offs. The own brands, these have not increased like from when we reported last year. In fact, in some cases, we have occasional outages, but these are the active SKUs which we have in own brands. Our main brands, OK, Bon Marché, OK Mart, just a preview of our promotions which fit into our year calendar. Our social responsibility, we do quarterly health power walks, quarterly aerobathons, and there's a long one coming up. What is it called again? What's the one we postponed? The ultimate. Yeah, we didn't just write it down, but there's the ultimate power walk, which challenges the fittest and encourages fitness. We participate in the effort for reforestation, planting back trees. To that extent, we have sponsored 5 nurseries. We still have 3 to go. We will be looking at that in the next financial year. We opened a new shop. You might remember when we last spoke, we said we're going to open a new shop in Harare. We did, in fact, open it in Glenview. And that there was just part of the CSR when we were assisting with the cholera outbreak. Talking about capacity, we increased our space by 1,735 square meters. Okay, Glenview, the store, 920 trading. Okay, Maronda, I remember I mentioned about expansion. This was a small shop. We expanded it. It's now a right-sized country shop. And then the Chisipiti, we did open it up some more by some 150 meters. So the 3 additions give us that 1,735 square meters. Financial highlights. Our revenue, we posted 330.1 million, growth of 23.2. We believe there's some real growth in there because our inflation was average, was 12.2. EBITDA, 16.1, growth of 41.7. Attributable earnings sitting at 8.4 million, growing 66.3%. Earnings per share, 0.71, growth of 61.4. Capital expenditure at the halfway point, 7.5 million, growing by 52.8. You might remember that our range of annual capital expenditure is around 12 to 15 million per annum. Right? I'll hand over to you.
Good afternoon to you all. I'll take you through the numbers. Highlighted just a moment ago. Our revenue went up 23.2% to 330 from 268. Operating profits 11.4 from 7 prior. Net finance income 0.1. There was nothing prior. We have been borrowed for a number of years now. Tax charge went up 60.9 to 3.1 over 1.9%. As your operating profit goes up, your tax goes up as well. Attributable income 8.4, so that's 5.1. That's a growth of 6.3. Total comprehensive income 8.4, then 5.2, growth of 62.7. Depreciation slightly up over prior as a result of newer equipment that's coming in, whilst old equipment gets decommissioned. EBITDA went up 41.7% to 60.1 from 11.3. Some ratios. Our gross margin remained the same as the prior, at 17.5%. Balance as a percentage of sales, slightly below prior, 14.3, that's 15. the sales was going up, we were also controlling our overhead. That's why the percentage is slightly enough. Operating profit margin 3.5, this has 2.6 this year. Net income margin, that's 2.6, this has 1.9. Difference between the two is basically your tax. EBITDA margin is your EBITDA number as a percentage of your sales. 4.9, this has 4.3 this year. Share performance, there was an increase of 2.5% in the number of shares in issue. This is mainly for the share options that were given to the employees, which they exercised during the first 6 months of the current financial year. Attributable earnings, 0.71 cents from 0.44 in the previous year. Headline earnings, 0.70, this has 0.44 in the previous year. As our policy, we declare 50% of our profit after tax, so declaring a dividend of 0.35. Same period last year, we declared a dividend of 0.20 cents per share. Net asset value is 8.39, besides 7.03. Just a bit of some commentary on the numbers that I just gone through. Our revenue, 23.2, official inflation, 5.39. Like-for-like revenue, that is if you take out the new shops that were added, it's 20.1, which is above the official inflation and even above our internal inflation. Gross profit margin remained flat at 17.5, as shown on the previous slide. Shrinkage was controlled to below 1%, retail sector target. Overheads increased by 18.4, mainly as a result of staff costs. So I just showed a slide where our staff went by 500. This was to man the expanded shop. That's Okeva data, one machine security, and the new shop in Glenville. Promotions, we were running promotions across all our brands. This covered the costs. Rentals, the number of our outlets are now on 10 of fixed rentals. The more your sales go up, the more your rental goes up as well. Then charges, all the financial institutions, they charge the selling, especially for transactions that goes through your POS machines. So as our sales goes up, the bank charges goes up as well. Depreciation, this one is mainly a result of more equipment. Stock 10 slowed down to 9.6 against 10.4 in prior. Standard is 4. Capital expenditure, spent 7.5, which was basically applied for the construction of the OK Glenview. This was one of our state that we bought some years ago when we decided to construct a shop in the Glenview area. Remember last year we opened a shop in Malvern, close to Magaya's church. When the landlord decided to dispose of the shop, took the opportunity and bought the shop. So part of the capital expenditure went to acquire that shop. It's now our own. We spoke about pavement, it came around the and one machine security. Also part of the capital expenditure went on to replace old equipment. That's where it went to research. Some highlights on the statement of financial position. Property, plant, and equipment, basically coming off the increase from 7.5, but that's what about netted down the depreciation. Inventories, change of 37.4, that is 30 September. Mr. Sarah will update on what happened subsequent to that. Cash and cash equivalents, it went up by 179%, 33.8 million. Slight adjustment of deferred tax. Payables went up almost in line with stock. Cash flow summary. Cash generated from trading is basically coming from the operating profit. As you make more money, you also pay more tax. So we pay tax of 2.8 versus 1.7 in the previous year. Net cash invested, that's basically your capital expenditure, is 7.5, gets netted down by small ones. Dividends, 6 million relates to the that was paid previous year. It was paid around June. Then out of that, the cash generated was 9.5 against 1.5. Sorry, 9 million against 1.5 million this year. Then if you bring forward what we had end of last year, 24.8, it comes to 33.8 that I reported is on our financial statement of financial position. Mr. Shewa, I will take you through outlook for the remaining 6 months.
Thanks, Brian. We will all be aware of the fiscal and monetary measures that were announced at the beginning of October. Those developments triggered some panic buying, resulting in depletion of stocks in the supermarkets, in the warehouses. What were the developments? The separation of RTGS FCA from Nostro FCA was one of them. So the guys with RTGS FCAs were wanting to convert their balances into something of value. So that's where the activity came from, the post cutoff. There was also the 2% intermediate tax. What it does is it penalizes compliant taxpayers, and we don't know what it does with the producers. It's likely that it will probably go into the cost of goods. But positively, government has already reviewed this position from the earlier announcement, and they've since promised further review of the impact of the 2% intermediate tax, and this is seen as a positive development. Obviously, they are listening to representations, because if it penalizes compliant taxpayers, it can't be a good tax, because it's a final tax. You can't do tax planning on it. Prices have increased since the end of September, and they've done so significantly. The main influence on these price levels is foreign exchange, which is short, and therefore it attracts a premium, and that's what has impacted the prices. But we believe this will settle down and correct, because consumers will resist prices that are too high and way out of their earning capacities. Supplies declined significantly during the first 2 weeks of October. That was when the buying frenzy was on. But stock is improving currently, slowly. Suppliers are beginning to release product again. The only issue is the price levels. Government responded by relaxation of importations, which were restricted by or banned by SI 122. So SI 237A opens up importation of a specified list of goods that will assist to further improve supplies and also bring some stability to the price movements. I say so, but it's probably going to be slower than we thought initially, because while the ban was lifted, the duties were not relaxed, the duties were not removed. So that might slow the rate at which we restock and fill the pipeline. From where we stand, we see positivity in that government is committed to fixing the economy, and management are optimistic about a positive economic outlook in the medium to long term. To continue with the outlook, product supply, with the prevailing supply challenges, we will remain focused on securing adequate product to sustain operations. It's an issue of engagement with traditional suppliers, cultivating new ones, inviting in SMEs, so that we restock quicker and get back to full normal operations. We'll focus on improving our market share position, because currently, I don't know if anyone can measure after the frenzy buying, but our focus is to increase our market share. And we'll stay focused also on containing our costs and defending our margin and improving it wherever possible. Refurbishments is core to our strategy, because when you refurbish, you improve the ambience, then generally you get a good return in terms of sales increase. Okay, Matarare, this one we are standing in. I'm standing, we're sitting in. We're refurbing and we'll be opening later this week. The Beaumarchais Borodale will also be reopening soon. Expansion, we believe the problems we're currently experiencing will be temporary. In the medium to long term, the economy will start to rise. So we're opening a new branch in Okaymat in Mashingo. The Okaymat brand has served us well. It has commanded a good following, and it is operating profitably. Hence the expansion. Thank you for listening to us. I'll take a few questions, not too many. It's okay, you can sit down. Yes.
Very pleased on your revenue growth.
Yes.
So when you are speaking in terms of actual volume growth, how is it looking like? How much of that is a result of inflation? And also maybe restricting your measure in terms of out in that economy.
I don't know if I got the question. You are saying how much real growth is in there?
Yes.
Yeah. The growth rate is 23%. Our measure of inflation at the point of procurement, which then flows through in sales, is 12.2 average over the period. So crudely, you can say 23 minus 12 amounts to real growth. But we've also seen physical movement of volume through our shops.
So in a way, you have actually sold more in terms of product capacity.
Yes, we have.
And how are you dealing with issues of value preservation? Because part of that growth is actually coming from time clients.
Yes,
And when that happens, you also feel customers.
correct.
Yes, so how are you dealing with that case? That just comes before clients and also the depreciation of the value.
Yeah. Well, we use the cash to procure product. Where we would normally work on extended terms, we shorten terms because we want product to be in. So we incentivize the supplier. That's one of the applications we make with the cash collected. And the assets after the knock-on confidence on RHTGS balances, the assets available, the options are limited. But we stay focused on remaining in business. So we are using our resources to try and quickly restock so that we trade.
And my last question, are you encountering suppliers who are demanding for a
That can't work with us because our suppliers know we are not generators of forex. Rather, they are looking for forex to sell and bring product to us. We pay them RTGS, they go and find some more. Yes.
Maybe just a follow-up question on this question. Is there a chance then that in terms of suppliers, they might be diverting a product to other retailers who can offer them foreign currency, and hence product shortage in your stores? And the second question is post the reporting period, how are you seeing your internal trade?
I don't know if there are many operators of scale that are buying in foreign currency because they don't have it. If there is a single shop probably or a chain of 3 stores, it's easy to do that. So I don't see them preferring those because I don't think there's a sufficiency of that foreign currency anyhow. The other question was the inflation post. Yes, we just haven't measured it because it's only 1 month down the line now. But we have seen prices continue to go up. Even the products that are monitored, which have got central bank support, there's been a shift as well. If you look at something like fuel, the externalities would have impacted the price, because if the price is higher on the high seas, when we land it will be higher as well, despite no change in our duty. For instance, cooking oil, the crude which is brought in by the processors, if it's brought in at a higher price, that will affect. That has tended to have happened. Not to a big scale, but it has happened as well. Yes?
Given the inflationary pressures, is there any chance shareholders receiving
The shareholders will want a dividend, but they don't want us to stop operating. And they can't want us to go and borrow so that we sell the dividend and run the business. So while if you are continue to generate cash at a high level, it's a possibility. But at this stage, I think the shareholder will be more interested in making sure that the business survives. Because there was anxiety with shareholders when the stocks were depleting. They were getting worried if we were going to continue in business at all. So I would imagine they would be more interested in us staying in business and paying the appropriate intervals when we can afford. But I mean, if the cash piles up to such an extent that it's excess, it makes sense to give you a shareholder. Sorry? Yeah, but you see, that's at a measurement point. I'll be paying creditors tomorrow morning. So it may not be as much as it looks. Anything else? Thank you for listening to us.